Well, a few years ago, a patient of mine came into my practice, and I'd been seeing them for a good amount of time, and we couldn't seem to get this patient well. We couldn't help them recover their health, and it was a very curious case for me. One day they came in, however, and they were well. They had their health. And so, of course, I asked them, what did you do? What changed? What happened? And what they had done was they got on the internet, they did their research, they found Mold Zero, and they had their home treated. So, of course, I was very interested in this. Now, I never really recommend anything to my patients until I try it for myself. So the first thing I did was, of course, look at the research studies behind it and try to understand the technology for myself. I was very impressed, to say the least. So much so that I actually had my own home treated. Now, I wasn't under the impression that there was anything wrong with my house, but I figured, why not? Just do it anyway and see what happens. Now, my wife and I, as soon as we walked in the home after it was treated, could not believe the difference. It was like a brand new home. It was almost as if a darkness had been lifted from the house. It felt good to be in the house. My sleep was better. You could think better in the home. I mean, it was substantially different. So from that point on, I started integrating it into my practice. I started referring my patients to Mold Zero. And I'm going to be very honest with you, the vast majority of these cases that were in fact dealing with mycotoxin problems and mold issues couldn't have gotten well if we didn't use Mold Zero. An interesting piece of data I'll share with you is that prior to finding out about Mold Zero, there really was no solution for these people. I was able to find out what the problem was, which is different from other practitioners. I was able to find that they were having a sensitivity to mycotoxins, but there wasn't much I could do about it. Because until you handle the source, these problems don't go away. The patients really had two choices. One, they could demolish their home and build a new one. Or two, they could live with the problem. And that's why Mold Zero is so incredibly valuable, because they offer not only a completely effective treatment, but a completely non-toxic treatment, where other forms of remediation, the chemicals that they use are actually more toxic than the mold itself. So of course I would never refer to those companies. Mold Zero is so important for my practice. I mean, there's really truly a great number of patients that I could not have gotten well if it weren't for this company.